happening, everybody? Every Talking Feds fan out there, no, and your eyes are not deceiving you. It is that time again for another Talking Feds podcast episode. I am the one and only Danny Meltzer, the Melts, the Big Cheese, the man of the universe. You know what? Screw it. And this is my buddy, my broadcasting partner, Lucas. What's going on, brother?
Not too much, man. We have a lot of stuff again to cover here. We've all gotten a bunch of stuff done since the last episode. And yeah, we're joined also by Nathan, who will discuss all that stuff with us.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Glad to be back with the boys, and a lot of exciting things have transpired since the last episode of Talking Feds. We're going to get into it all right now, starting off with the toilet match, one of the wackiest matches in WSC history. What did you guys think of it?
Oh my goodness. See the whole multiverse stuff, you know. You mentioned it to me a long time ago, and I thought you were fucking crazy. Yes. Yeah, I remember specifically saying, like, when you told me about this idea, you told me about Tibbles, you told me about Shrek, you told me about all that, right? I was just thinking to myself, I was like, I ain't even said this. I was like, yeah, I'm kind of regretting telling you to do guns in WSC because that was the start. That was the start of this snowball effect into complete madness, Multiverse of Madness plug here. But in any case, I think you did a really good job into just really honing in on the complete ridiculousness of all of this shit. It really reminds me of Grimm's Toy Show. And it really brings me back. It really gets me nostalgic for all the ridiculousness that was in that program, and to hear in a bit more of a family friendly, especially by comparison. You don't have John Moxley hitting the paradigm shift and calling it the dirty dildos anymore. But now we got the Hulk, we got Peacemaker, we got all these people just going in there and fighting over a fucking toilet. So I mean, I loved it personally. I loved how stupid it was. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it's high art, because it's not. I don't think that was your like intention of it being like.
I mean, there was a great comment recently on this latest video that you were a part of that said like WSC can be funny, and it can also be very serious. And what we saw in the latest match, which we'll get into, we took it to a serious level. We can have a different range of things going on in WSC, which is fun. And I like to play around with creative ideas and do some different stuff rather than just the one thing with the hardcore championship, Yeah,
and I bet you've been spending. Oh, go ahead, you.
Yeah, but Luke, I know you are not a movie guy or anything, and this is a lot of this is inspired by movies and stuff, Marvel, the culture of multiverse and everything going on. What do you kind of think of everything that you've seen so far?
Yeah, right. I'm not really the movie guy, but like Danny said, I also watched Grimm's Toy Show back in the day, and it really reminds me of that. And these videos are always a really fun watch. That's pretty much what they are. And I think as long as, you have these serious WSC matches and then these in separate videos, it's a really fun concept to have. Gives definitely. You maybe some time. Maybe the multiversal matches are a little bit easier to make than the, real wrestling matches. And I think it's good to give you some breathing room there as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's good for a multitude of reasons. And if you're talking business-wise, I mean, to do a match in, say, 2 to 3 days, and some of these matches have gotten, like, just the time of work compared to, like, the views you get and stuff. Some of these matches, like 321K for the acid pool match, like, a lot of these things doing really well, which is very surprising. People are really embracing and enjoying it. A lot of people aren't, but I don't think they were fans of me anyways. A lot of these people don't dig it, but a lot of these people do dig it. So it's kind of for, different audiences. You have your one thing over here that certain people will like, and you have another thing over here that certain people will like. And yeah, I just want to bring more variety to the channel. And with the toilet match, let's kind of get into some of the details of it. So yeah, I had to film in my toilet in a little cramped area. As you saw, that room is like
that
very
place looked
cramped.
Fucking tiny. Like that place looked fucking claustrophobic. Like that was giving me claustrophobia watching that shit.
Yeah, it was very uncomfortable. And yeah, definitely inspired by Grimm's Toy Show. I looked at a lot of his stuff and tried to put my own spin on it. And yeah, just do what I would do. Like he's like really goofy, very parody. I like to like bring the comedy, but also put some serious stuff in and like throughout. This one was more a little bit more goofy. This was the introduction to Tibbles, which I planned this a long time ago. Originally, it was supposed to be like more of a serious thing rather than an alien dog, and it was going to be in the hardcore championship kind of scene. But as soon as we did this multiverse thing, I thought, it'd be really cool if we had this like alien shape-shifting dog named Tibbles, and we could just set him off.
You were gonna have Tibbles in the hardcore division? What do you mean by that?
But he wasn't going to be shape-shifting. He was just going to be like a dog sidekick. He was going to attack people, but he wasn't going to turn into like crazy things,
Okay, yeah, maybe that worked out for the better then. Because that would have been pretty lame. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's like you got Roman Reigns you're fighting people, and then fucking Tibbles just gets in the ring, and then just like fighting.
No, it wasn't gonna be that Tibbles. Like this Tibbles is cute. It was gonna be like an attack dog kind of thing. It was gonna be like more badass dog.
Oh, like a German
I don't know
Shepherd.
I don't know if I was gonna call him Tibbles though, but because I got this like cute little dog Tibbles. It was kind of a funny name.
I mean, there's a show. I mean, if you know, but there's a show on on Adult Swim called Mr. Pickles about a dog that's possessed by Satan terrorizing the grandfather of the family. It's a really terrible show, but it is a case of like this demonic fucking dog called Mr. Pickles. So I don't know. It could have been. It would have.
I think I got the name. I think I got the name from iCarly. Like I remember. I think it was an episode where Fred had a dog named Tibbles when he came onto the show. I could be mistaken, but I think that's where I kind of got that name Tibbles from.
I don't remember much from iCarly, but what were you saying, Luke?
Yeah, I was going to ask if there were any like concrete plans, like who he was going to be with in the hardcore division.
He's going to be my sidekick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining a match that would be happening in an alternate universe of in real life where you decided to do that, and it's just you with a fucking German Shepherd dog, or that, and then you're about to lose a match or lose a ladder match against Kevin Owens, let's say, for example, right? You're under a bunch of rubble. You just fell there. You go Tibbles Schwantz. Fucking Tibbles does a damn springboard crossbody onto fucking Kevin Owens off of the ladder and starts mauling him. That's the thing I'm I'm imagining right now. And honestly, you need to do that as a short little clip. Maybe in one of the multiverse matches.
I just go to a different universe and we find the German Shepherd Tibbles.
Yeah, you just peek into the multiverse and you just see that scene that I just described right there. And you're just like, huh, that's neat.
Yeah, and then also we introduced Donkey into this with Shrek. My dad was watching the stuff I was doing with Shrek and everything. He kind of inspired it. He was like, because I was filming in the pool with my brother doing that pool match, and he saw Shrek and he loved it. And he was like, "Oh, is Shrek gonna win?" And I was like, "No, he's not gonna win." And the fans all kind of wanted Shrek to win.
Yeah, Shrek was match. Fucking. And I was like,
"He's over."
Yeah. It was like
that's what sparked this whole thing.
It was like worse than Hook. Like
yeah. Yeah. And then he was like, "Oh, you should bring Donkey." And I was like, is there a Donkey figure? And I got the voice actor. I think it's been pretty entertaining having Donkey around. And we had a little Donkey and Tibbles confrontation, which was fun. The Incredible Hulk. I thought it was better to do Tibbles turning into the Hulk rather than just like the Hulk, because then he could kind of be a little bit weaker. Kind of stop him a bit.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so and
we have Peacemaker as well.
And funny thing is,
I love the Peacemaker show. Yeah, what were we saying?
Oh, I was gonna say, more about the Shrek stuff. I was gonna say, like, funny thing was, watching the Shrek, with that figure that you used there, it got me curious as to like what figure that was. And so me and Luke, we run a eBay page. Therefore, we have the same account pretty much, and we see what we look for on eBay. And Luke came to me and he was like, "Do you want to put Shrek in your Fed?" I was like, "No, why?" And it's because you've been looking at Shrek figures. I was like, no, it's not what you think. I'm not trying to put Shrek in FAW. It's just like I was curious as to what company figure made that Shrek, because it's a really detailed looking figure and it has some articulation, not the best.
Yeah.
But I predict, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I predict that is a McFarlane Toys Shrek.
I have no idea. I got like a fresh brand new one because we destroyed that Shrek figure in that match with those rocks. Those rocks just messed him up. So we had to get a new one. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but I do have the box, but it's kind of out of reach right now, but I'll tell you later.
All right,
later
cool.
on.
All right, cool. And I remember Lucas having a comment about this matchup that he really liked how you used the donkey figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked realistic how it moved. Yeah. I mentioned that to Danny.
In that promo. Yeah, that was fun to do.
Yeah, and then the little donkey kick to the nuts of a Hulk.
Yeah,
that was really well done.
The articulation is really like cool on that, where you can like whip his legs around.
That was like an action feature, right?
Yeah,
a little donkey kick action.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I predict that because these are, at the end of the day, these are kids' toys. So
yeah,
and I remember when we had Flex Force from fucking WWE. Those terrible things with the little paper fucking the paper what's it called, the paper titles,
paper belts, those
things. But
the donkey figure, like, it wasn't like one of those WWE kind of things where you like they're stuck in one place. Like this one's like articulated, like you can just whip them around. They're not like you don't have to press a button or anything for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really good.
Also, I'm curious, did you get a voice actor to do Hulk's lines?
No, there's a YouTube voice clips for him.
Oh, is it from
which was a lifesaver?
I don't know.
Yeah, it must be from something. I don't know.
Yeah,
there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, and so here's another interesting thing about this video. So as we're reaching the conclusion of this, the Fiend flushes down Shrek and everybody in the toilet.
Oh yeah.
And as soon as I saw that, I knew 4 things that needed to happen. Right? 4 individual things that needed to happen. Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, and Raphael, the fucking Ninja Turtles. I thought the Ninja Turtles were going to be in the next video. And I remember telling you that in the group chat over here in the Talking Fetch group chat on Instagram. I was like, you know what that means? Ninja Turtles, baby. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I told you like to do it because I felt like it was the perfect time. They got flushed down the toilet. And who lives in the sewers? The Ninja Turtles, Master Splinter, all that shit. Right?
Yeah.
Well, that didn't happen. Can you explain why? So
I mean, this is a really good scoop, and this is the kind of stuff I like to talk about in Talking Fed. So originally, like, after that kind of happened, it kind of was the perfect time to do a sewer match, and the fans were kind of guessing that it would be a sewer match. And what I had in mind for that was kind of like the Fiend would be like stalking them in the sewers, kind of like It. Like they had a scene in It where the kids were getting stalked in the sewers.
Yeah.
And I kind of wanted to do that, but like, man, I just don't have the budget like these movies to do like the thing I would want to do, Like I would love to have like scenes of them like flowing through the pipes of the sewers and then like a whole setup of the sewer, which looks really nice, but I just couldn't get it, I couldn't make what I would want to make with a sewer match. So I decided to, kind of use my powers to transport them to the swamp, which turned out really good as well.
Yeah.
It would have been cool to do that if we could.
Yeah. Well, now I'm thinking like, because when that didn't happen, when it ended up not happening, I was a little bummed out because it's like, now how the fuck is it going to happen? Because the whole toilet thing was the perfect segue into a Ninja Turtles match. Now the only thing I can imagine now is like if they went to like, I don't know, like Japan, and then the Shredder was there. I have no idea. But that was a cool little fun fact. Like it could have been a Ninja, like what could have been,
Yeah.
the Ninja Turtles stuff, and because like if there was a multiversal tag team championships, we'll bet your ass Ninja Turtles is about to go for that shit.
Yeah. If I was filming movies, this is the kind of thing I'd be thinking about kind of doing. But I can't execute those things with the figures. And the hard thing about this multiverse thing is I have like the perfect setup for in-ring action and everything, but I don't have like the perfect setup for things I would want to do outside of the ring, with all these kind of multiverse ideas that you could do, but you don't have access to those kind of settings and scenes, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, man, for sure. But that does it for that toilet match. Great video, really fun. I love the human torpedo. But now we got to do Luke's
the cage
stuff.
of death.
Yes, all of that jazz. There's an interesting story about that too. But Luke, we're gonna give you the stage. Why don't you talk about the cage of death?
All right, Cage of Death. This year, we build a little bit of a bigger structure than usual because I had, this is the same cage I used for the lockdown cage, and you can connect it in all types of ways. So I wanted to build something really cool, unique for the Cage of Death, with a lot of options for people to fall off and stuff. And I think we did that, and I think it was a really fun match, brutal with the glass, with the barbed wire stuff. And we had Danhausen pop up in the middle of this.
Yes, love that Danhausen.
Right.
It sounds exactly like him. That's great.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like you talk to Danny about plans and then he pulls out an impression that is like almost spot on. Yeah, it's great.
Okay, see, good, because I thought that I did a terrible impression there because y'all just got quiet. I guess y'all just thought Danhausen just bust through my fucking car right now talking to the microphone. But yeah, very great Cage of Death, a very good selection of wrestlers. But there was one wrestler that was supposed to be in it, right? But eventually he got scrapped, and that wrestler was Cody Rhodes.
Right.
Why is that?
So, I have like a specific plan with Cody Rhodes, and at first I wanted to execute that plan in this match, but I looked at the field and I felt like that Cage of Death match wasn't really like the place that you would find Cody in, to be honest, and that's why I delayed that a little bit more. But yeah, there's more Cody stuff coming because he had pretty bad luck in GCW in his last appearances, and
got destroyed at the Rumble.
Yeah, he's had pretty bad luck in regards to pick feds in general. He's got over here.
I think the thing with him is he's a great talent, but the way he's been kind of used in the past kind of year, like the hype hasn't kind of been there for him. But I feel like with what's going on now, it's a perfect time to like do the things you would want to do with Cody,
right?
Pick feds and mid feds and stuff.
I think he's doing great in WWE so far, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and nowadays you would put Cody in a video and it can draw. Like you always have to think about it a little bit.
Yeah.
And the thing nowadays is like I kind of look more at stuff that has the possibility, to draw some new viewers in. Back in the day I would do like, let's say Will Ospreay against Rey Fenix because I thought it would be, a great match. But obviously that's not really a recipe to grow your channel, I would say. So yeah, I always look at that kind of stuff more. And I felt like the Age of Death in general is a video, that you see in your recommendations maybe, and you say, oh, I want to see this,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the way you built the Cage of Death, the way the logos are there, it looked fantastic. The especially the logo on the cage, like the backside there, like that little strip there. I thought that was really good. It looked very toyetic in a sense.
Yeah.
It looked like something I want to buy.
You definitely needed that crowd background. I'm glad you brought that back because it made this look a lot better. Because if you just had the gray wall, like it wouldn't have looked as good.
Mm-hmm.
But the logo on the ring was really cool too. I was considering that for Mania, but I'll let you do that thing, and I'll just have the normal mat.
Yeah, the thing that I've actually noticed with that is, since I've put that in before, you know, when you film. No, not really. The thing is that I film, if you film down, you know, onto the ring mat before, like sometimes it would screw with the how do you say that, the
colors,
vibrance, the vibrance of the colors. And now if I have the logo in the middle of the ring, it doesn't do that, so that's a huge help.
Oh really?
Yeah,
that's good.
So I have that for WrestleMania again too.
I hate that, and something you can't control. Like just anything like with filming this kind of stuff is just like the lighting changes. Like most everybody has that, where just the lighting changes between like photos. And if you can help control that, like that's cool. You know?
Yeah. But I feel like I always ask Danny about that kind of stuff, and he like, I see no difference.
Exactly. Why the fuck do you guys keep asking me about this technical shit, and I don't know anything about it? Like Nathan, you're just blowing up my phone, sending me 20 pictures,
right?
And they all look the same to me.
The thing I do with him is like I overshoot my stuff. So when I'm filming something, I take like a bunch of different angles to try and get it consistent with everything. And like, I try to get like the best shot. So I overshoot the shit out of it. And I send it to Danny because I'm super indecisive. And I look at it, I'm like, just like process overload. I can't handle it. I need some fresh eyes. I send it to Danny and I just get him to pick it for me. Whatever he picks, and it's all good.
Because it's like you sent me 20 different pictures and they're all the same picture to me. So I'm like, this one, I guess, and that one. And then,
because there's all these like little slight changes, and it's just like, does that flow better, or does that work better? Like, like if it could be tweaked slightly, like, you know, I just get way too over perfectionist about it. Too much about the details.
I asked Danny stuff like that. Oh, I use different cameras, and he wouldn't even be able to tell the difference between the cameras.
Am I just like the fucking guinea pig of like, I basically represent the eyes of like the regular viewer, the casual viewer. You know, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Why you guys keep on hitting me up about this shit? Because I represent like the casual viewer's eyes watching the product. That's what I'm thinking right now.
You don't represent the casual viewers. It's just like fresh eyes on it. Because like when I'm looking at stuff, I'm overanalyzing it. But if I send it to someone else who sees it for the first time, they're gonna have like a different opinion on it. So it's better to, you know, have those fresh eyes looking at it.
Yeah, fair enough. But yes, indeed, Luke. The logo on the mat is a great improvement. You should probably do that for every show that you do from now on. Honestly, I really like it because that was something when I was doing like 2K videos for FAW. Like I modeled the FAW ring like in Pic Fed as much as I could after that 2K ring that was in my old videos. And in those old videos, there was the logo of FAW in the middle of the ring, and I always wanted to like incorporate that into the real life. But nowadays, I
think that would look cool.
I don't know yet. I'm gonna have to like test it out one of these days. So how exactly
it would look like AEW, like FAW in black on the white. It would kind of look like the AEW kind of thing, because they have that too, and I think they have it in black. I think that would look cool.
Yeah,
I don't think it would work for the WSC logo. So I'm not
probably not. Yours is like very colorful.
Too complicated,
yeah. But I'll have to hit up Luke on how to do that. Unless you want to do a quick little voice tutorial on how to put a logo on the mat.
Oh, do you do it yourself?
Me? It's pretty easy. It's
wow.
You know, I used again this PVC, you know, cardboard style white for the mat, and then
is that not a cloth mat?
No, it's not cloth. And
oh wow,
and then I print out the logo on sticker paper and then put it on there. And that's it.
Oh,
sticker paper. That's a thing.
Yeah.
I never heard of such a thing. That would have made making barricades for my show a lot easier, because I have to literally print out paper, fucking pieces of paper with all the logos and the colors on it, and then I got to cut it into each individual like right-sized pieces and then tape it all over the VHS tapes that I do, and that's always a hassle. That's like an entire night
I have to
worth,
do that too.
But since you're talking about sticker paper, shit, sign me up. Damn.
Yeah, that's. Have you guys never heard about that? That's like
I've heard of an adhesive paper, and I've tried it for a stage once, but like it went like see-through, like you could see through it, and if you're not putting on like a black or something, like you can see what's behind it. So I just like kind of avoided it, but it could be a good thing to use. But also I'm like very like, as much as some people would like to say my stuff looks good, like the stages I used to make all these kinds of errors that would just drive me crazy, like, oh, there's like a rip, or you don't stick it down properly. And so if I got adhesive paper, I know for sure I'd like screw that up somehow. Like I don't know if it would work.
I fear it's the same thing as like putting decals on a figure. I could never.
No, it's the adhesive. Yes, if you put it onto cloth, that's pretty hard. But if you just have like a cardboard mat and then put the sticker on that, it's like putting a sticker somewhere. You probably have had a sticker somewhere before.
I swear it's like a guy, like right now I feel like caveman discovering fire, and Luke is just discovering fire right now. It's like, oh, this is how it works, and we're just like looking at there like with our like the thinker pose. Just look at that. But it looked great. Everything looked great. The match was awesome. And Danhausen came in. That was something that we thought of, like you said, like when I just busted out the Danhausen impression during like a personal call, you wanted to do like a storyline with him, right? Or
yeah. Because that's so much better if you have the actual voices for the characters. You can do so much more.
Yeah. So Danhausen, he's looking for a partner. That's the storyline. Are we going to find out the partner, or is it going to be like a surprise on the day?
Yeah, it's going to be on WrestleMania. You'll find out who the partner is going to be.
Hopefully. Now, I don't know anything, but looking at AEW, I think you might be sending Hook, which would be pretty cool.
Yeah, maybe Hook can come in there. Maybe
it'll be like just someone we don't expect at all, and could be.
Or maybe Orange Cassidy.
Oh, he's never been in GCW, has he? Orange Cassidy.
Officially in GCW, no. But he's been in one of Luke's videos before.
Has he?
That. Yeah. It was like oh my god moments, I think.
Yeah, but that's just.
Oh, but that's not canon.
Yeah, it's not GCW related. Yeah,
that's just random shit. But it could be Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. It could be Hookhausen. It could be Danhausen and maybe someone from FAW. Maybe we don't know who. But Danhausen's looking for a partner.
I feel like gotta be someone very scary and very evil.
Oh yeah, to match the evil.
Oh, is this what we're doing with the Fiend now? No more Bullet Club. Now he's going to be Danhausen's partner.
You really think that the Fiend, okay, just blatantly deny that possibility?
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Okay, good.
The Fiend, could it work though? I'm trying to envision it right now, and I'm like, maybe it can work with the right look and the right booking. Maybe it can work. I don't know.
He could be like the Fiend sex slave or something.
What? Okay, we're gonna move on because you just ruined that.
Get him one of the Alice to Black chains.
No. We're gonna move on here. So like that Danhausen stuff, really good. I had a lot of fun voicing him, and yes, that was me. It wasn't the real Danhausen. I remember seeing a comment saying that, "Oh man, you must have gotten the real Danhausen." Well, thank you, young commenter. Thank you for complimenting my what's it called, Danhausen impression. Yes, I'm a man of many voices. Not that many, but also a bit of tragedy struck this GCW.
Oh yeah.
This cage of death. So want to
what happened?
elaborate on that?
So I had Nick Gage and John Moxley fight shortly before Nick Gage got taken out with that German suplex off the platform through the tables.
Mm-hmm.
And that was actually not supposed to happen, but it had to happen because I was a Gage for boot to the face of Moxley, and the whole leg broke off.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So Nick Gage was supposed to hit Moxley with a big boot on that little spot, like leading up to the German suplex. It wasn't supposed to be a German suplex over the top into the tables. No, what was supposed to happen is that Nick Gage was going to hit a big boot, and Moxley was going to like stagger over the ledge.
Yeah, he would fall, but hold on to the cage.
Wait, did his leg fall off on the fall?
No, the thing is, it broke while Luke was trying to do the big boot.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I'm just chilling, right, minding my own business over here. And then I get a notification. Luke just sent me a photo. I was like, oh, okay, maybe it's a new custom, maybe it's something, right? It's fucking Nick Gage with his leg right next to him. I said, oh shit. Right. And then Luke was like, I need to call you. We need to think of something, how to fix this. I was like, okay. So here's what the original finish was going to be, right? Or not the finish.
Okay. Getting juicy, huh?
Yeah. The original finish was going to be, Mox was going to hang on to the what's it called? The ledge, because it was going to tease that he was going to fall through the tables and whatnot. And what was going to happen to Nick Gage after that? Like, how was he going to like?
Nick Gage was pretty much supposed to do the jump that Moxley did with the barbed wire chair onto Roman, right? Off the platform onto Roman Reigns, but Reigns would move out of the way and hit the spear instead, and that was going to be the finish because Moxley was going to hang on to the other side of the cage. Jake Paul would climb up the side of the cage, would KO punch him, and Moxley would take the bump off the cage through all the tables that Nick Gage ended up falling through.
Dang, why didn't you just do that and then have Roman pin him, get some heel heat?
Wait,
what do you mean?
Like he could have punched Mox and then pinned him,
but
then Roman comes and pins him.
But the idea here was that to build up Jake Paul versus John Moxley.
Yeah. So Jake Paul costs Moxley the match. He punched him, goes through the table, and comes in and pins him.
Yeah, what we decided was like way better than all that. because my idea was like my thought process on it was like, okay, well, Roman and Mox have a lot of history. We were coming up with we were trying to come up with a bunch of ideas to like how to end this shit properly so that it could build off of every match, right? So I was trying to think of ways like how do we get Nick Gage to like keep his leg so that Moxley can throw him over the tables. I thought of like sticky tack, whatever, but by the grace
that didn't work.
Yeah, but by the grace of God, the fucking one of the takes of the German suplex, you couldn't even see the leg. He just disappears under the table.
Yeah. Oh, so his leg did come off.
It did come off, but you couldn't tell because it was like quick like that, and he just disappeared under the table. I was like, wow, that's a blessing.
No, the leg for that bump, the leg wasn't even on. He had one leg for that bump.
Oh shit!
Wait, really?
He didn't even have his leg.
Mm-hmm.
Well, shit. Color me impressed with that camera angle.
Yeah.
And honestly, like the first time, the tables didn't even break. The first take that you did, the tables didn't even break. And I was like, damn, one of the tables got a break. And thank God it did, because it started to hide the entire
Do we
figure.
still have all these videos? They would be kind of cool to edit in here. Were they these disappearing types that I sent, or
I don't know. I have to check on that later. But yeah. And so my thought process was like, okay, that gets rid of Nick Gage for the rest of the match. Okay. Nick Gage, he came in there, he threatened Vince McMahon, and that funny ass video. Yeah. He threatened Vince McMahon in the backstage, and that was like the limelight. That was his limelight. I didn't think he really needed, like, we didn't think he needed to have a feud with Roman Reigns right now, because we wanted to build to Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. But what I thought was that since Mox and Reigns, that was the last Extreme match before this, right? That was the last Extreme title match before this.
Yeah.
And that was history because of the whole cinder block thing and shit like that. This could have been like their final confrontation, have it be epic, have it feel like Mox is really trying to fight, and then have Jake Paul distract Mox. So it was really like everything came together in the end because of the genius of Danny Meltzer. Well, I'm not going to be all like that, but the thing is, it's like maybe Nick Gage breaking a leg was a good thing.
Yeah.
Wait, so Jake Paul was Jake Paul not originally supposed to be involved?
Yeah, but Nick Gage's leg broke.
Wait, so what was the change?
Well, Jake Paul would have punched John Moxley.
Yeah.
And he would have fallen off the cage through the tables.
Yeah, but instead we got Jake Paul talking shit from the top of the cage. How did he get up there? I don't know. He's Jake Paul, but he started talking shit from the top of the cage. We were trying to look for like a bunch of different like voice clips of Jake Paul, and it was hard. It was hard to do that, but we found something. We was like, maybe it can work in the context. Maybe it's like he's calling how he knocked him out in the Royal Rumble and mocking John Moxley and whatnot. And so like I said, like, maybe the breaking of Nick Gage's leg was a good thing after all. It was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and everything worked out so well. And then we got the debut of the hardcore messiah, Seth Rollins, and his disciples at the end. And there was a bit of disarray in the idea of how he would debut here. See, what we went with, as you saw in the video, the lights go out and there's just Seth Rollins right there. Luke, I think your original plan was to just have him be on the stage and then have that happen.
Yeah. I was thinking on the stage, but then I felt like you couldn't see that stuff that well behind the cage. And then I decided, we do the lights out and then he's on the platform there.
Yeah. And I remember saying like that my idea was that the lights go out and the disciples are there and they just jump Roman. They beat him the fuck up. They hit him with chairs. They do whatever they got to do. The Roman drops the Extreme title somewhere. Seth Rollins comes in. He's coming in all like brooding and slowly. And he says, I'll hold him there while he gets a cinder block. And then he does the curb stomp on the cinder block. The disciples put the belt around his waist. And then to top it all off, they put the barbed wire crown on his head. And then Seth Rollins is standing above an unconscious, broken-faced Roman so that it'll look like he's a real threat to his championship. That was my idea on how to do that.
I think it would have been cooler to have some physicality, especially with the Usos, getting them involved as well.
One of the Usos had already died, though, so...
Right. The big ass Death Valley driver through the glass pane there.
Yeah.
Oh, another fun fact, the Edgeheads at one point planning this match out, the Edgeheads were going to be in it.
Edgeheads.
Yeah, the Edgeheads, because they were in the last match that Edge was involved in.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So And then the idea was like Edge was gonna be like, oh, you fucking you idiots, you can't do anything right, and then he like beats them the fuck up. But that didn't happen. I was kind of sad that it didn't happen. I kind of wanted to see that, but
I felt like I would just confuse people and they would expect like a triple threat at WrestleMania.
Oh no, we got one triple threat. All right, I think one triple threat, big money making match is enough.
Yeah.
You know? But I think that does it for the Cage of Death. Great video. I think it's doing very well in terms of views and viewership and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Great match, great spots there, great use of all the characters, some wacky shenanigans from the behind the scenes, but at the end of the day, it was a great product.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. And so next we go into the infamous segment of you, Nathan, and a certain punky wonky who said some mean things to you. And so you go and fire him.
Yes. You got to be there live.
Yes,
and
sir.
witness what transpired. I tried to be the big man. I tried to apologize to him, and he wouldn't accept it. And the disrespect you saw, he got in my face, talked down to me, and I don't stand for that. I fired back, and things transpired. He brawled with me, and one thing led to another. Maybe it was a heat of the moment kind of decision, but he's fired. CM Punk's gone from WSC right now. We don't know what the future holds for CM Punk at the moment. I don't personally know if we could ever be on the same page again if we were ever to work together in the future. I know the WSC universe do like CM Punk and would like to see him come back.
Yeah, they were just trying to hijack the Roman and the Brock match, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
But these fans, when it comes to CM Punk, the fans don't fuck around. They really like CM Punk, man. So I don't know if it was the smartest decision to fire him, especially like for the brand. But
yeah,
that's just me.
I respect CM Punk and what he's done in the ring, but just his attitude. He's really got an attitude problem. He doesn't like authority, and I don't want to be an authority figure to him. I don't want to be the one firing him. But when he's gonna rock up in my workplace, I'm trying to create a positive environment. Things are getting out of hand. We need to settle this, and we will. We need to talk about this, Danny. We need to settle this. We need to find someone to help us because things are getting out of hand, and we'll talk about it a little bit later. But yeah, as far as CM Punk, he needs an attitude adjustment. And if we were ever to work together again, it would need to be under certain terms, because right now the CM Punk that was face to face with me, I don't want that guy working in my company. And that's it.
You just said attitude adjustment. Does that mean we're gonna get John Cena versus CM Punk at the WrestleMania? Has John Cena actually been in WSC?
He's been in an Elimination Chamber. He's been in the Royal Rumble, and I think that's about it.
He's never been champion though, right?
No, there was a plan to have him as a heel champion, but that's scrapped. That was 2020.
Oh, geez. You're going to have him be Thugonomics Cena?
No, something different.
Oh, okay.
But we'll keep that close to the vest as for now.
Yeah,
but if you want to see John Cena in WSC a little bit more, the thing is with that is, like, I love Cena, and Cena's great. But if you have Cena in the show, he should probably be booked a certain way. Like he, I don't want to treat John Cena as if he's just like, just another guy.
Right.
Another extreme dude.
Yeah. And it's kind of Roman Reigns' time right now. It's not really Cena's era anymore. I would have loved, if I was doing WSC back in the day, to be doing like Cena as like the top guy, like he used to be in WWE, because that was my guy right there, Cena. But who knows? He could show up. He could be a part of WrestleMania. We'll have to wait and see.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, there goes your kayfabe of the night there about the whole CM Punk shit. But we're going to transition into yet another wacky, zappy, multiverse matchy in the swamp fight which honestly used a lot of figures that I did not see coming, honestly.
I didn't tell you any of the plans for this, did I?
No,
Yeah,
no, I don't think so.
So you got the surprise there.
Yeah, I got swerved. Yeah, I got swerved in there. I was not expecting my boy Poe to come into, because I had a very like nostalgic mark out moment, because I had that exact same toy a long time ago from McDonald's.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's a McDonald's toy, and I remember the exact noises it would make too. It would go,
and I used those,
right? Right?
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, and then he just says skadoosh, right? And I was like, bro, my childhood self was like screaming at that moment, because I missed that toy.
Yeah, Danny was even upset. He was so passionate that he said like, oh, he called him Kung Fu Panda, but he has a name.
Yeah,
I did say Poe. I did say Poe once.
Yeah, you said it once. Yes, I had to like rewatch it. I was like, oh, he did say Poe that one time, but then you just called him Kung Fu Panda for the rest of the video, and that was really triggering me, you know, because I love those movies. I think that's the greatest DreamWorks trilogy. You know, fuck How to Train Your Dragon. I don't really like those movies. I like the first two.
Isn't Shrek DreamWorks?
Yes, it is. But
that's
I don't think it's
quadrilogy, I guess.
Yeah, and also the third one wasn't really all that great. It wasn't
bad.
Yeah,
third
either.
One wasn't good.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible.
It was just
yeah.
Yeah.
But like Kung Fu Panda 1 and 2, untouchable to me. And so seeing that figure there, I was like, you know what, man, Shrek, you know, Shrek. I love Shrek. And the multiverse guy, that's the multiversal John Cena of the division, you know. But Kung Fu Panda, he could possibly be the Roman Reigns, if you know what I'm saying, you know. But
I wish there was a more articulated figure of him.
See, they did used to make like toys specifically for the first movie, but they were just like little tiny figurines that you would find in like a Dungeons and Dragons game. You know, they had like no movable parts or nothing. They were pretty much statues. But yeah, and also use the swamp thing, which I thought the effect that you did with when Shrek was standing on him and then his eyes came up, I thought that was just a chef's kiss, because that really swerved me, because I really thought he was just standing on the grass.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And you've been getting a lot of like, I don't know what the word is, unorthodox figures for this series, and I really like it, because like I collect a lot more than like wrestling figures nowadays. Well, maybe not as much as I used to, because nowadays I focus my expenses on things I need for videos. But from time to time, when I see a figure that's really cool, that's really good looking, I would want it just to like play with it and pose it around and stuff. And the Swamp Thing is such a cool looking figure from McFarlane Toys DC what's it called?
It is,
yeah. And so, and honestly, it's a pretty rare find for a figure too. So how much did you? Yeah, you know, there's like a variant of it where it has like a tree crown on it. I saw it at GameStop some of these times, but that's not really the one I wanted. But
I think it was $40 or something.
Wow. Okay.
I don't think it was like super hard to get.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't really see it much around here. I saw like
I got it online.
There is a figure that I saw. It was like have you ever played Batman Arkham Asylum?
Yeah.
You know, Titan Joker?
No, I've played one in like 2012. I can't remember which one it was.
You didn't finish the game?
I don't know. It was a long time ago, man.
Well, it's funny because like I was playing Batman Arkham Asylum a while ago, like on a trash controller. But the final boss of that game is like a monstrous Joker with like spines coming from his back. He's like 10 feet tall. He's got a mohawk on him. He's got like super claws on his hand. So I don't know if that sparks any interest to you to have it in the multiverse right there. Like Joker, John Moxley just like took some mutagen and from the Ninja Turtles and he turns into that bro. There's the ideas are endless. right
you
now.
kind of discouraged me from a couple of people to use in that latest match, but we'll get into that a little bit later. We'll talk about those kinds of things. But as far as the swamp match, yeah, I thought it was really fun. This was in my my front yard. It's like kind of a little gated area, and we got this like grass area and rocks and everything. Thought it was a really nice spot to do it. I bought this little pond to use kind of as like, you know, the swamp, and we had some alligators in there fighting with alligators, Drew McIntyre and Shrek. And
dueling with the bitches,
yeah, and the Fiend decapitating Peacemaker. Like the Fiend can actually be a killer here instead of in the hardcore division, which is kind of neat. And Peacemaker, you know, Peacemaker from Earth Zero is dead, but you know, multiverse, you never know. You could see another version of Peacemaker come through.
Yeah. Speaking of multiverse, I kind of want to go on a tangent about like my gripes with the movie Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah,
right?
I originally wanted to do something with that in the latest video. But there was nothing from that movie that I really could use, so I didn't want to involve him in that.
Yeah, so I don't know. Whoever's watching this, if you watch that movie, let me know what you thought in the comments. At first when I was watching it, I was like, you know, this is a really good movie. And then as the movie progressed, I was like, okay, this is garbage. Okay, because they had Mr. Fantastic in there, and Mr. Fantastic of the Fantastic Four was something that people have been waiting to see in the MCU, right? And so this is his first appearance, and he dies like a fucking idiot in like the first 5 minutes of his first appearance in the entire MCU. And he's going to have a movie about the Fantastic Four later.
Yeah, that's the issue I have with it. It's like you introduce him here and then he just looks like a chump. And now we're expected to go watch his movie and be like, oh yeah, Mr. Fantastic.
Because as far as I am concerned, that character is fucking dead. Okay.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter. Let's say the Fantastic Four movie is the greatest MCU movie of all time, right? Let's say that, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. What if it is, right? Let's say best case scenario, it's the greatest fucking superhero movie of all time. It doesn't fucking matter, because when I see Mr. Fantastic on the screen now, all that plays in my head is that scene where he gets fucking shredded.
And just think if they did that with any other character before introducing them. Say Tom Holland Spider-Man, we see him get fucking turned into spaghetti before he even like comes into being actual Spider-Man in the MCU. Like, how stupid would that be?
So it's like it's times like these where I like empathize with Luke on his views about movies, because Luke hates when this shit happens. Right? Yeah. This whole thing where like death means nothing and damage means nothing, and you know, and they find ways to come back and blah blah blah. Well, it's okay because it's a multiverse. No, it's not, because I'm mentally scarred from what happened when Scarlet Witch just like fucking squashed the Illuminati. You know, well, that's my rant about that. So let's get back to that.
Yeah, it's legit like people flying through buildings and throwing each other through buildings, and then the finish is like a DDT or something, you know? Like, that's how I watch movies, and I'm like, this is dumb.
Yeah. What kind of movies do you like?
He doesn't like any movies.
If you don't like any movies?
The only movie he's told me that he liked was the Toy Story movies.
Oh, really? Like those. Oh, but you were young, or like you like them as you're older?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched it in a while, but I remember liking Toy Story.
Yeah.
Those movies are great. You are correct in liking them. Those are great.
Toy Story 3.
Toy Story 3. Oh my god,
that's the one.
Yeah, Toy Story
cried.
3, the ending. Yeah, a lot of people were like, who didn't cry? If anyone didn't cry, like, are you even alive? You know what I'm saying? But Toy Story 4 was a bit of a mixed bag for me. But
it just didn't need to happen.
Yeah. I mean, it was cool. I guess some parts of it were cool, but then that ending, Woody's a simp. That's all I gotta say. But back to formula. You know, that we're talking about movie references right here. But the swamp match, rape match, you had Tibbles turning into John Wick.
Shooting
a hole in the Fiend, right, and then he just dies. I was like, okay. You know, when I saw that, I was like, yeah, that's not it. That's not it. You know, he like knowing Lucas. I mean, not Lucas. What the fuck am I talking about? Nate. Knowing Nate, his favorite wrestler. Your favorite wrestler is like Bray Wyatt, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you wouldn't have killed him off just like that. I knew that from a mile away.
Yeah.
But still, it was great to see.
See Poe.
Yeah, to see Poe. Yes,
Yeah.
and the Fiend just murdering people.
And Puss in Boots showed up as well.
Yeah, that thing was creepy.
Yeah, the thing with that is like his mouth opens really wide because he's got this like hairball that can like spit out, which was really cool to use.
Yes.
But yeah, it's just like his mouth won't stay closed. It's weird.
Yeah, when I first saw that, I was like, "Wow, that is stuff of nightmares." Imagine a cat coming to you in an alleyway, and then he does that.
And did you see him? Did you see him all beat up after Joker John Moxley with the mouth open? Like, how creepy is that?
Yeah, I saw that, but in things in time. Well, Shrek retains the title as he should.
Yeah, and I think a really good run for Shrek as the multiversal champion.
Yes. The first like top dog in the multiverse, and I think it was really smart not to give him the championship right away in the Royal Rumble. Was it really purely just by like it's like a Vince McMahon Daniel Bryan situation at WrestleMania 30 when it's like your plans didn't have anything to do with Shrek being champion.
That is true. Yeah.
Until the fans are like, "Bitch, you better put that belt on my old king." So yeah, there you go. So what was the original plan? Who was going to be the flag bearer?
Well, this whole thing was going to be Drew McIntyre as champion. He was going to have the whole. We'll get into all the details of what this newest match was supposed to be, but it was going to be Joker John Moxley and Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, that would have been lame. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, Shrek, definitely a way cooler choice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And another funny thing about Drew McIntyre, speaking of him, is that you had I remember you sending me clips of like the voice actor like doing Drew McIntyre's voice, like yelling at Shrek. Well, for people who watch my stuff, or people who haven't watched my stuff, episode 3 of FAW SWE had a main event of Drew McIntyre versus Daniel Bryan. It was a classic. I still love that match. I don't know if Nate, if you've watched it back like the last time.
I watched it and it was like trash talking him. During the match. Yeah.
And so, but did you see like the little clip at the end of the match though? Not the end of the match, but the end of the video.
But I can't remember exactly what it was, but I did see like a little funny clip. What was it? Okay,
so because you remember Drew McIntyre's promo in the second match, and I mean the second episode, right, where he was just talking shit about Daniel Bryan backstage with Nicole Becker.
Yeah.
I remember watching it with Mike, SWE, and in a group chat we were watching it, and then Mike said that bitch sound like Shrek, and I was like, oh, does he now? Does he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, does he now? So. The next time I ordered, I got the voice actor to say stuff for Drew McIntyre in episode 3. I said, here's a optional line just to make my friend laugh. Okay. So it was a little gag at the end, a little post-credit gag of Daniel Bryan and Drew McIntyre in the ring. Drew McIntyre looks like a fucking Giga Chad, right? He has the armor, he has the kilt, and he has the sword, right? And then the virgin Daniel Bryan is there. He's all slumpy and shit like that. This is basically Drew McIntyre's in his head, how he views Daniel Bryan. So Drew McIntyre looks at Daniel Bryan and he goes, "Get out of my swamp, Bryan." Right? And then Daniel Bryan just walks away in shame. And I thought nothing of it at the time. I thought it was pretty funny, And then here you go having Shrek and fucking Drew McIntyre have a feud, and you have Drew McIntyre says some shit like, "Shrek, you big green bastard." Right? And I was like, it's so funny how shit comes around.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all great stuff. But a great swamp match. And one more thing, the best spot in the entire multiversal series, no cap, was when Swamp Thing just slung fucking Shrek into the Rock, right?
Cracked his head. Oh man.
How did you do that? It was so perfect.
Oh, it was like, I remember when I did it, I was like, oh man, that was so brutal. Like he just full on, like I clipped his hands or his feet or something onto him, and then I just flung him around, and then we just get this perfect landing where he just smacks his head on this rock. Like he should have been. I mean, Shrek is OP, so he can survive it, but man, that was brutal.
I saw that. I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy. That was the best spot in the entire series. But moving on here, we got some more content coming at you here. What's next is Brock versus Roman Reigns in an ambulance match. And a lot of stuff went into this, didn't it? Into the
there was
build up.
Yeah, quite a bit of build up with the Brock Lesnar, came back after 2 years going after Heyman and the Bloodline, and he destroyed them all. Roman challenged him to an ambulance match, got Danny Meltzer on the Roman voice.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
for that.
No problem. My pleasure.
I think better than the original guy that we had for the voice. I wish you spoke up and said
better.
I wish you spoke up and said you could do it earlier.
I didn't think I could. I didn't think it was that good until I started like saying shit. How did that come out? Like, did I just start saying shit as Roman Reigns in one time in a call, Luke? And then you just like, wow, that's a really great Roman voice.
I think we were recording like a bunch of shit on a call, and then we were talking about the Roman and Seth, and then you just, all right, let me attempt Roman, and then you just did a pretty great Roman impression.
Yeah. I don't know. It really just came out of nowhere. I didn't think I could do a Roman until Luke said something. It was a big confidence booster. And then the funny thing is, I recorded a promo for Luke in regards to like the Seth Rollins match in GCW Wrestlemania, and I accidentally sent it to Nate.
Oh yeah, that's how I found it. Yeah,
yeah. And then Nate was like, "Oh man, that's a really good Roman Reigns impression, man." I was like, "Oh, you saw that? That wasn't for you." Well, shit. And he said, "Oh, you want to do a promo for Roman in WSC?" I was like, "Fuck it, I'll try." And then I tried, I did, and I said this before. I hate listening to my own voice, but as long as you guys seem to like it, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I feel the same. I hate listening to my voice as well. I think we all feel that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was definitely a lot better than the one you used previously for Roman.
Oh yeah.
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 That required a lot of heavy editing to make it sound a bit closer.
Oh wait, did you edit like the audio levels?
Oh no, I'm talking about the.
Oh, you're talking about the other guy.
Yeah, the other guy. Yeah, you sent me something. He was like, "Oh, how do we fix this?"
I didn't have you edit before that, did I?
No.
That was after the fact.
Yeah, that was after the fact. Yeah, because I think it was like for future reference if you were going to keep using that guy's voice. But then I just came out of nowhere with this. Now, yes, my voice was edited as well.
Was it?
Yes. Do you think I naturally have the fucking Roman Reigns deep voice? No.
I don't know, man. You surprised me.
I don't. I feel like I excel when it's like that soft spoken type thing where he does, right?
Yeah.
But when he's yelling, that's
the yelling,
yeah, that's when it's tough for me.
I remember you're like, oh man, I destroyed my voice.
Yes, yes, because I had to like do like several different like takes because none of them sounded good to me of Brock Lesnar fucking yelling and shit. Not Brock Lesnar.
He reigns.
I keep on mixing names up. That's just something about me. I called Luke Nate, and I called Nate Luke, and I called Roman Brock. So there you go there. But
and then it's like we plan out, okay, we need a voice actor for that. We're supposed to have a voice actor for Will Ospreay, and then all of a sudden Danny just like starts talking like Will Ospreay, and it's like way better than the voice actor did, and we're not gonna have to spend like $200 on a promo.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm just a miracle worker, I guess.
Yeah.
I just have the I got the touch.
Luke, did you get him to try a Seth Rollins?
Nah, he says he couldn't.
I literally could not do a Seth Rollins to save my life.
Did you guys find a Seth Rollins or anything? Because I'm looking for a Seth Rollins.
No.
Dang it.
I don't think we tried to look for it anyway, because we didn't really have any plans on having Seth Rollins talk.
Yeah.
So,
but it would be very useful to have a Seth.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But so yeah, back to the Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns match.
Yeah, also we got a Cody promo as well, kind of after the fact of that barbed wire steel cage. Had a great showing in there, but he fell short. But he's looking to, which was announced, WSC Wrestlemania Hollywood. So yeah, we're on the build to that. And yeah, things are about to heat up here.
Yeah, I wonder what Cody's going to do. And a fun fact, Cody is voiced by the same guy who does Wild Card,
Yep.
And it really surprised me because like the way he does Cody in my Fed is a lot different than how he did it in yours. Because for me personally, I didn't really care how he did Cody, as long as it sounded like at least like 70%, I was fine with it. But on yours, I couldn't tell it was the same guy because he sounded so different to me. There was certain points where I was like, yeah, that's Nova. But then I was like, wait a minute, that's not,
Yeah, I just directed him on like, because this type of promo, your guy's like a heel, but my Cody is babyface, and this is like after the match, and he's like somber, and we sent him kind of like a similar promo to what this was. We sent him that to kind of go off of, and I said like try match it as closely as you can, and he did great.
Yeah, love that guy. That guy. Actually, it might be out of the question, but I would love to talk to him on this podcast, just like personally. I love that guy.
We better not pay him by words for the podcast.
I don't think so. I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think he's gonna be like, oh yeah, charge me every word I say on the podcast. Like that's ridiculous. No. But
with this match, I had a few little things that added to the production. I had that the Brock Lesnar CGI, which is a lot better than the one I used to use. Thanks to Wrestlistic for helping make that happen. And I also included the LED barricades, but not only that, put even more attention to detail by doing the all the superstar ring graphics on the ring and the barricades, just for that extra like little boost to the entrances, which I really like. If you know me, I really like the details. So I think that was a really cool touch that we'll be using
I was going to
forward.
ask you how you did that.
Yeah, just design graphics and put it on there, and you just got to switch them out, I guess, every entrance, which is takes a little bit longer, but I think it's worth it. Yeah.
Weren't they moving though?
Yeah, they were moving, right?
Well, if you want to think that they were moving, I'll let you think that.
What the fuck are you talking about? They were moving. What the hell? I know what I saw. I thought you like cut like green paper and put it on the barricade.
Yeah, I thought it was a green screen. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just keep the mystery.
Man, fuck you. You better tell us now.
Okay, on to the match.
Oh my god. Okay, you're just gonna be that guy. Okay, you're just gonna be that guy.
Go back and watch it.
Oh, you fucker. Okay, let's go back to the match then. All right, pretty good match. Standard stuff for Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar. I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit like not disgruntled. I was just like kind of dismissive about this because like, oh yay, another Roman Brock thing. WWE is not tired of doing it.
I mean, it's the first ever time we've done Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, and WSC. I would have loved to do prediction matches of their previous matches and stuff, even though they do have kind of limited move sets. I mean, Reigns is great, but like Brock Lesnar is kind of one note sometimes. But yeah, I thought it was a really fun match. Got the ambulance stipulation in there too, and the story behind that as well. And all the things with Heyman. I thought it was pretty cool. And that F5 on the announcers table, that first one was supposed to break the table, but we could not break the table. And that landing where he flipped, where he like flipped off the table looked so realistic to like how that, if the table didn't break, like, how people get thrown over the table and they like flip around, like that looked super realistic to me. So I was like, you know what? I can't break this table. Let's just have Brock just go beast mode and then do like a 2K F5 through the table on top of it, which that table surface is not big enough at all. So trying to get that going and balancing Brock Lesnar holding reins up with my hands, and then the table's flipping over, and then I'm trying to do it and the table's not breaking. Like, I've got some bloopers of that, which I might put on Instagram. There's a lot of swearing because I was just getting super frustrated with that. But yeah, I thought that was a pretty cool F5.
That reminds me of the time we were watching like some hand-fed stuff back in the day. You know, we got inspired to do that little hand-fed tangent.
Oh yeah, why are you not doing those anymore?
Why am I not doing those?
Yeah, because I thought you were planning to do more of those this year.
Oh, you talking? Oh, for the me?
No, Nathan.
Oh, okay.
Me, because I would have done Brock and Roman at Mania, but since I was planning this, I didn't want to use all my ideas in that. But yeah, you saw that with the Royal Rumble. We were gonna do an Elimination Chamber, but I don't know. I think we were busy doing something else at the time, so we didn't do it. And I think, what did they do? I think they like changed one of the guys last minute or something. I don't know. It was just, I wish I could have done that, but I think it probably would have been better not to do it hand fed anyways. But there will be an Elimination Chamber coming. But I guess there will be more hand fed matches when I see like a good match to do. But there really hasn't been any.
Yeah.
So
I plan on doing one for Hell in a Cell, because right now we're building a custom Hell in a Cell. I'm trying.
You got to make a custom. Is it like the old school one you used to have?
No, we're doing it differently this time, and I'm gonna actually spray paint it red to match WWE's one. So,
dope.
Yeah, we shall see how that turns out.
Kenny Omega and Brock Lesnar about to have the match of their lives in that fucking thing. But as I was saying, like when it reminded me when we were watching like old hand feds, you would talk about this one. It was between like Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. And the fucking table, no matter what you did, the table would not break. And you were just trying to like play it off. It's like, oh man, this table is not breaking. Oh, there's Ambrose. He's beating up on the referee. He's beating up.
I mean, at least back then we were having fun with it and just like taking it on the chin and just redoing it. But this one was just frustrating. Like, fuck, like I can't get this table to break. And I got all these bloopers. I will have to show you guys.
Yeah, but then the table spot was really good. Everything.
And
else,
I used some stop motion and stuff in here too.
Oh,
a little bit of chair action. I think it was it mostly the chair and the Heyman with the kendo stick. That was my favorite one.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
but then, throwing that in there. Like I said, a great match. Very fun, very entertaining. I love your arena. I just love how colorful it is.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a lot better than it has been in previous times.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, and so they go up to the ramp, they go up to the ambulance and stuff, and a bunch of shit happens. I don't really remember everything that happened, but
that power bomb off the top of the ambulance to the table.
Yeah, that was pretty gnarly. That was pretty gnarly.
The fist through the glass.
Yeah, great effects here. Pretty like standard.
That was real.
Yeah, it was like a VidFed thing. Like,
yeah.
So how did you do that exactly? Did you like just jump cut into like?
Yeah, into like the glass just bursting out, kind of like we did with that Kyle O'Reilly through the window that one time.
Yeah.
And then they get on top of the ambulance, a little bit of action up there, and the massive spear through the top of the ambulance off the lighting truss. Always wanted to use that lighting truss and have people climb up there at some point. Finally got to do it here, which is pretty cool. And after the match, thank you. Yeah. And after the match, Jon Moxley reemerges. And there is so much history between these guys and so much unfinished business between these guys. And they're going to have the match of their freaking life, which I think right now we will announce that Mr. Danny Meltzer has come through the multiverse into WSC and we are proud to officially announce him as my partner on the commentary table.
Yes, sir. You wanted it, all 12 of you, and you're going to get it. You're going to get it at WSC right now. I'm part of the team. I'm part of GCW. I'm part of WSC, and I am legally not part of the FAW. Okay, as popular belief is, that's not me. That's just some fucking guy from a gas station that sounds like me. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, like that guy's like not even close to my level. What the fuck you talking about? But yes, I am part of WSC's commentary team. It's going to be fun, and the fun fact is, we actually had a test run commentating over this match, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, and. Another fun fact is before this, a long time ago, me and Luke actually tried this method of commentary. We got on Zoom here and we just watched the match live and we were trying to commentate. But Luke and I, we did it, it was okay, but I just forgot to like edit it together and see what it sounded like. And we just kind of like scrapped that whole idea anyway, because, Luke, I think Luke works better when it's just like separate. And that's cool. That's his style. But when me and Nate did it, we had so much fun. we had a lot of fun calling the match. And I was like, I even said so, like after we were done recording, I was like, dude, that was fucking fun. This is gonna be great.
Yeah. And it was so much easier too. Like doing it by yourself, just screaming the whole time, it's just so hard.
Oh, don't I know that?
When you're doing it with someone else like Danny, who is just as excited and enthusiastic about the stuff, it's going to be super hype and it's going to be super fun. And yeah, it's going to be fun having someone to bounce off of. And man, I can't wait to call like a crazy match like the Deadly Games with Danny too, because it's going to be nuts.
Oh yeah. I don't know if we got any like Shakara fans of like an old indie promotion there, but think like that commentary team times like 1,000,000. That's how crazy it's gonna sound.
Yeah.
But if we're still talking about the Brock versus Roman, I do want to kind of get with some gripes I have. Well, not gripes. One is kind of like a gripe, and I think I told you this before, and the other was just a funny thing I thought of. But the first gripe is like when Brock Lesnar like countered the guillotine into the F5 on the top of the ambulance, Roman pretty much no-sold it and just started climbing the thing. Yeah. At the time I was like, man, what the fuck? And then I was like, it's whatever. It's nothing really that important.
Yeah, it was supposed to like that crawl was supposed to be the selling of it, and he was just like so hurt and like cowering away from him. But when you film things and you put it in the editing and you just realize like, oh, this didn't take as long as it should have taken. And I don't want to make those clips that I already shot. Like, I don't want to draw them out like longer than they should be. And like, it wouldn't have looked as good. And then when you do the climbing on the truss, this truss is not stable at all. I had to hold the thing while filming with my phone. And I can't take photos because I like to have the Titantron effect with all the moving graphics and stuff.
Right.
So trying to be more detailed with that climbing and having him selling more and going slower, like kind of wasn't much of an option at the time. So yeah, that just kind of how it happened.
Yeah.
With all that.
But yeah, no, that's cool. I mean, like I said, like at the end of the day, it wasn't really that important. It wasn't really that deep. It didn't really detract from the match at all. I don't think so. Then, I don't know. You might have these purists to be like, he was supposed to sell it for 10 seconds and then climb the thing.
I mean, I didn't hear it from anybody except for you, but yeah, I do appreciate feedback.
That's my Danny Meltzer rating. That's my pick fed Danny Meltzer fucking rating personality coming back there. But
I mean, I never got to witness that Danny Meltzer rating.
People,
I only know the Danny now.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
because you deleted it all, didn't you?
No, it's there. It's there on my Instagram, like story highlights. All of my ratings of all the matches I've ever done are there, and you'd be surprised to find like, a lot of them were just the stars, right?
Did you ever rank Luke's stuff?
Oh yes, I shitted on it.
Really?
back in the day, yes. Back in the day, man, I hated your shit. And so the thing is, it's like,
what's the time period? 2020?
Somewhere around there. Yeah. That's when I started rating stuff. And it was your
Wait,
super
when I
show.
already had commentary?
Yeah. It was in your super show. Remember that where you had Mox and Seth Rollins?
Oh yeah.
In the bathtub or whatever that shit was. And
Death Bowl.
The fucking little thing with water in it, you know. And
I saw that in a Grimm's
Toy Show. Yeah,
I saw it in a Grimm's
Toy
Toy
Live
Show.
did it too.
Yeah, and they both had a lot of views. So I figured if that is in the thumbnail, it'll get a lot of views.
Yeah. But yeah, I shitted on that shit. I think I also did not. I think I also shat on the WrestleMania too, and because I don't know how biased I was about that, because I know there was some animosity towards that, because back in the day, it was strange, looking back on it now, it was strange how much I hated your content. It was strange. I was looking back on it, I was like, what is the reason why? And then I'm pretty sure my past self would say, oh, because he pushes Kenny Omega too hard. And I was like, really? There seems to be something else going on here. But luckily I got to know the guy and we're great friends. And that part of the past is there. You could probably see it. And if you just fucking swipe on my,
I'm checking out now. I only see star ratings for Mania.
Yeah. That's probably
not too bad.
Yeah. Fucking. Okay. So yeah, maybe it's not as bad as I thought.
For the WrestleMania 7 or
no, it was
8.
8. Yeah. One thing, because I remember shitting on on an aspect of the Brock and Kenny match where Kenny just,
you gave it 3 stars. It says
that's not even a bad rating.
That's not even bad. Yeah.
Okay, so never mind. I wasn't even that hard on you.
Did you say anything other than the ratings? Because I can't find that.
Did I talk about the matches?
Yeah, did you talk about it?
No, it was just usually at the beginning, it was just I just put the stars there. And if the person had a problem, I had oh, how do I improve? What didn't you like? And then I would tell them in DMs. That's how it worked. But then people started being well, you should put an actual review of the show and the match on the story, And it's just okay, fine, I'll start doing that then. Then I started doing that, and then I got more vocal about my opinions. But I don't think I did any more Luke stuff after the Mania. But I remember not liking the fact that that Kenny gets murdered by Brock Lesnar by getting a super German suplex from the top, and then a second F5 in the match, I believe, and he still kicks out. I hated that part.
Oh, okay.
Because I was like, damn, you just that Kenny Omega push.
Since when is Kenny Omega a god in GCW? Is that a new thing?
He was always like that. He was just pushing. Wasn't he, Luke? When you first put him in the GCW, he just started winning everything.
Well, he debuted at WrestleMania 5, helping out AJ Styles to win the GCW championship. No, at WrestleMania 4. Then at WrestleMania 5, he held the Intercontinental Championship for a while before that. He had the match with CM Punk and beat him. Then he kind of became, because CM Punk was the face of GCW until that point. Then at WrestleMania 5 later on in that show, he turned on AJ, that shit that we always show in the promo packages and shit. And WrestleMania 6, then he finally won the GCW championship. At WrestleMania 7, he beat AJ in a one-on-one match, and then at WrestleMania 8, his undefeated streak ended against Brock Lesnar.
And this is a streak that spanned years, right?
Yeah, well, but I was not active for a lot of it.
Yeah, well,
I want to get into that one day.
Yeah, and so
one thing I want to ask about, what was it? Jesus, I just drew a blank. You go, Danny.
Okay, well, yeah,
I had a question of mine.
Yeah, but like yeah, and then Kenny Omega was just running like when he came back, he was just running through Randy Orton, Dolph Ziggler.
Oh
He
yeah,
found
I
he
got
found
it.
he found a way to beat Undertaker. He fought the fucking Fiend at one point. I just remember that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it was just like nobody can fucking beat this guy. And then I was like, okay, Brock Lesnar's gonna fight. I remember commenting. I remember the comments I made on some of your videos too. When it was announced that Kenny Omega was gonna fight Undertaker after he fought Dolph Ziggler, I was like, oh boy, can't wait to see Kenny Omega find a way to bury the Undertaker. Too.
Yeah.
Like I was like a really fucking hateful guy in the comments there for whatever reason. It was like I'm looking back on it and I'm just laughing.
Are we allowed to discuss what was originally planned for Kenny Omega at WrestleMania? Or is that like
this year's WrestleMania?
Yeah.
I don't see why not.
Just wondering why we didn't go there.
What about you, Luke? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean,
okay. All right. Well, let me just elephant in the room. Kenny Omega was not going to fight Brock Lesnar at this year's WrestleMania originally. It was going to be Kenny Omega versus AJ Styles in a Hell in a Cell with the stipulation of whoever loses leaves GCW.
Right.
That was what was going to happen. And I was actually pushing for that to happen because it's like, you can't just have AJ Styles do that shit, drop the bombshell on at WrestleMania 9 and then WrestleMania 10, you don't like capitalize on that storyline. But the thing is,
that was going to be the main event, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was going to be the main event.
So is Brock and Kenny going to main event over the championship match?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and the reason for us scrapping that was because we were worried that people just didn't care about that storyline anymore. The whole Bullet Club, Kenny Omega shit. And I think Luke, your consensus on it was that storyline pretty much ended at Lockdown.
Right. Where Kenny finally got, the Bullet Club beat the Elite, but then Kenny's best friend Kota Ibushi did the cash in on AJ Styles. That kind of I guess fine with closing that storyline there because I've just laid out how long this story has been going. That has started at WrestleMania 4, where Kenny helped AJ Styles to win the championship. So I felt like at some point we got to end this, and I felt like the Lockdown was a good ending to that story. And we still have that Kenny and Brock story that we can use, and I feel like it's a pretty good story that Brock is the one that Kenny could never beat. Otherwise Kenny was pretty much the god in GCW, and Brock was the one who ended that all for him.
He was as Paul Heyman said, God Conqueror, as he said it in the thing. Which
honestly, I cannot imagine Kenny Omega hoisting up Brock Lesnar in real life and hitting him with a one-winged angel.
Well,
how would that? I can't even possess that. I can't even think of that happening at all.
Well, he does
it's so crazy to think about.
Like that Brock wouldn't agree on taking.
Yeah, I don't think Brock would ever take that move, or that could Kenny even do that to such a big guy?
Well, he does it to Ishii, Tomohiro Ishii, and he's a pretty big dude.
I don't know. Brock's a big boy, tall as well.
I don't know. I feel like he can do it because these wrestlers are some of these wrestlers are deceptively strong. Like Tyler Bate, that dude's fucking strong as shit, but he looks tiny.
Yeah,
so that's the thing. I'd even say Cesaro kind of looks tiny compared to fucking Brock Lesnar and John Cena, but still, he was able to lift Big Show like nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
Swing around Great Khali. Do
you reckon? Do you guys keep up with WWE?
Yeah, sorta. Yeah.
Raw was really good today. I enjoyed it, but I think Cesaro may be actually returning on SmackDown because they're teasing someone that Sheamus has a history with, and the New Day is going to bring them in to partner with them against the whole Sheamus group. So I think maybe Cesaro is coming back.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, my man. I'm gonna be honest with you.
What do you mean? Like you don't think, or like you hope not?
I don't think it's gonna happen. And whether I hope not,
I just wonder who it could be. You
know, and whether I hope not is irrelevant because I really don't care about that storyline. I just want them to treat Pete Dunne better.
I think he's doing great.
I like his character. It's just I don't like how he's losing to fucking Xavier Woods via a roll up. That's it. That's all I don't like.
I mean, he beat him before. I mean, Xavier Woods, you can't downplay like he's one of the greatest tag team champions of all time.
Yeah, but like, I'm a Pete Dunne. I'm a Pete Dunne mark, and honestly, Pete Dunne's track record in singles competition fucking like dwarfs Xavier Woods in singles competition. That's just my take. But what were we talking about before we went through all these
all right, we were talking about the ambulance match, but I think we about covered everything there.
Oh yeah.
And you joining the team in WSC.
Oh yes, that's exciting.
Oh right, I just wanted to say I'm amazed that I thought that those were videos on the screens because they're really not. I went back.
Yeah. But that's cool. If people think they're videos, that's even better.
The thing that made me believe that
is the lighting.
Yeah.
The flashing lights.
Over here trying to be all cheeky. Over here trying to be all cheeky. Well, you should have just said it in the first place. Shit. But anyway, next thing,
I think
this was teased. The last time Mil Muertes just fucking murdered Bill Goldberg and FAW. See, people people were starting to sleep on Mil Muertes, but now they're starting to realize what they're dealing with here. And then someone as menacing as Mil Muertes, he just rendered Goldberg as just like the old pathetic old man that he really is. He really just exposed him. Just that execution chair shot to the back of the head of Goldberg the last time was just brutal, huh? And now after that, it was teased that the greatest dream match that everyone wanted ever since Mil Muertes was even a thing, Undertaker versus Mil Muertes, finally got around to doing it. And there's a bunch of story about my feelings in regards to this match. But first off, let me get y'all's review on it, because I don't think you guys ever commented on what you thought of that match, because a lot of like anticipation was going into this. I remember. So,
okay. So first of all, the promo for that video was amazing. I was like, man, this is so cool. I immediately had to go ahead and pay Danny to make something for the intro for Wrestlemania, because that stuff was sick. And and then the match, I really enjoyed the match. I thought it was really well done. It didn't look like that you hated it to film it as much. I know you did, because I know like the spot for like a month was like Undertaker gave Mil a boot in the corner or something like that. And that's where he was stuck. And and Danny went ahead and gathered about 10,000 sound effects, procrastinating filming this match that he then was able to sell to me as well. So it was worth it in the end. But the match I enjoyed, was a good match, kind of like a typical Mil match. And then also the segment in the end, I really loved, to get in that little bit of comedy, and you never know where
I just wish Kevin talked, but it's probably hard because he kind of feels like a little sidekick lackey. Like if this was real life, they'd be kind of bouncing off each other. And
Kevin would be like, oh, that's the thing, and they're just talking, and shit like that. But the thing is like, I don't know who the fuck could pull off a Kevin Owens voice. If I did,
I'm looking for one, and I'll let you know if I get one.
Yeah, please do, because it would make writing these things a lot more fun. But Yeah, like you said, I hated this fucking match. I did not want to do this match, right? I just booked myself in a fucking corner because like I was so hooked up on the high of thinking that these house show matches would get a lot of views because of like, you know, the marquee value of it. You know, Goldberg, he'll draw. You know, okay, who draws more than Goldberg? Fucking Undertaker, right? He's an undead guy. He's all about death. Mil Muertes is the god of death. Fucking yeah, this will sell out arenas, right? And then it sounded so good on paper until
they are doing like same kind of numbers as the full shows. Are they not?
Yeah,
like if that's the intention.
Pretty close. Yeah.
You
know, and it's just one match too. So like that's the thing. But the problem was in real life, Mil Muertes versus Undertaker was never a match I wanted. You know, I when I was watching Lucha Underground for the first time, it was in the process of me like getting over wrestling because Undertaker just lost his streak. I was like really not into wrestling anymore. I thought it was all bullshit until Lucha Underground saved my interest. And then I saw Mil Muertes. He was pretty much Mexican Undertaker, even though he's not Mexican. He's actually Puerto Rican. But I'm pretty sure there's some people like, what's the difference? There's a big difference. Okay, don't get my dad started on that shit. But Mil Muertes versus Undertaker was just like a really childish idea to me because I was like maturing at the time when Lucha Underground was coming out. So, and plus it didn't really help that Undertaker just lost his streak, which is pretty much like the only thing keeping him going. You know, let's be honest. That was like one of the biggest reasons why people had interest in him because he still had that streak. You know, but when it comes to Mil Muertes versus Undertaker, that was just a match that I just did not have any interest in seeing, let alone doing. But I thought it'd be good for views for to do it. And you know, me, I sometimes surprise even myself when it comes to like very weird matches actually being like fucking classics. You know, biggest example being Ricochet versus Moxley. You know, I never thought of that being like a fucking 5-star classic, but look what happened in episode 4. You know, they had a pretty crazy match. So I had faith in myself that I would pull out something out of my ass when it comes to Mil Muertes versus Undertaker. And I did. I actually came up with a whole layout of what was going to happen, which ended up being cut a lot in the final product because I was not having any fun filming this match. And like Luke said, all I got was like some exchanges, some strike exchanges, everything you see up until Undertaker was in the corner and Mil Muertes runs at him and then Undertaker hits a boot. I just shut off. I just did not want anything to do with that match. Fucking thinking about doing that match, like filming more of it, made me sick. So I found every which way to do something else with my time rather than film that match. So that's why I have like a shit ton of sound effects for video editing when it comes to these Pic Fed matches. I was planning out other matches in the future.
Yeah, I like the taker sounds that you got.
Yeah, and and just like anything other than this match, I would be more invested in doing. Until I finally said, you know what? Or Luke helped me out. I was just like, bro, I really don't want to do this match. And Luke was like, man, just fucking just blitz through it, man. Just cut it up. Just do the finish. Just do the last thing. And I keep like overthinking because like Luke will tell you, I'm a very big like overthinker.
Oh yeah.
When it comes to like planning things out. And so I'm just like, man, I don't want to disappoint the fans. You know, they've been really wanting to see this match. Yeah. And I really don't want to disappoint them, even though I fucking hate this match, man.
Well, why do you think that was? Was it because of like because it was more of an enhancement kind of match for Muertes instead of like a storyline kind of match?
There's a little bit of that, and honestly, it's even a mystery to me, like why I hated that match. You know, maybe it's the fact.
Were you not doing it for the right reasons? Like you weren't like it wasn't something like you were looking forward to making. It's just something like, oh, this would be kind of a cool match. Do you reckon that's it?
It was something like that. It was mainly because like another big reason, this might be the reason, I don't know, but I don't like people using Undertaker in pic feds. I'm gonna just go out and say it. I don't like
it. He's hard to use.
Yes, because
it's just like Cena, how I was saying, like if you're gonna use him, you have to kind of use him in a certain kind of way.
Like a dream match or something like that. Well, Undertaker, to me, like when people use him in pic feds, it's very weird to me.
Yeah.
Because it's like
I feel the same way about Cena as well.
Like I remember Harrison, he did Undertaker versus Kevin Owens. That's a fucking weird match, man. I'll be honest, right? Harrison, if you're watching, I love you. Please come back to the podcast. I'd love to talk to you again. But I'm gonna be honest, Kevin Owens versus Undertaker is a weird fucking match. And honestly, having Undertaker versus anybody, imagine Undertaker versus fucking I don't know, Tyler Bate, which I'm pretty sure somebody has done, Like I just can't get behind it. I can't get behind it. And I love Undertaker. Undertaker is my favorite wrestler. And it's so weird how like I don't like him in pic fed. I don't like using him in pic fed. The last time I used Undertaker in my pic fed was him versus Finn Balor in a very old fucking highlight show. I think it was called Infamous, and which kickstarted the storyline between Drew McIntyre and Finn Balor and the Bullet Club, which led to Finn Balor coming back as a heel and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, it was just Finn Balor retiring the Undertaker. That was basically what happened. And now I brought Undertaker back because nobody knows that storyline. And as far as they know, this is the first time Undertaker ever been in an FAW ring. That's fine. I'll just kill him again. Just have him fucking get killed by Mil Muertes, So it's kind of like a mixture of a lot of things. But at the end of the day, I got through it. I got my balls up and I filmed everything I could. I just cut down to the most crucial points in the match. Nothing in between, no filler stuff. There was going to be back and forths and some cool little like sequences and whatnot. But honestly, I was much more excited. Oh, and here's another thing, I guess, was part of the reason why I hated doing this, because it felt like a chore, because I had other ideas. I had other projects that I was more excited about and I wanted to do. And I wanted to just get this shit over with and do it. That's why, like, at the end of the day, I nutted up and filmed whatever I could. And at the end of the day, I think it turned out to be an okay match.
Yeah. Did you film that thing for Luke before or after this?
Could you say
that Rey Mysterio thing? Did you film the Rey Mysterio match before or after?
Oh yeah. I filmed that after. Yeah. I filmed that after the Mil Muertes stuff.
And that was done in like no time.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I mean, it was just a ladder spot and
I think he's talking about the entire video.
Like, the entire video. It was just like all of a sudden he messages me, it's done. Like I was so surprised.
Yeah, so that was Mil Muertes versus Undertaker, the most anticipated match. I really hope it met up expectations, even though it's like a lesser version of what was in my head when planning things down. But any particular spot that was your favorite in that match before we move on?
The spot onto the chairs was nicely done. Just the way you filmed that, I really liked it.
Oh yeah. I wanted to make it feel brutal, like he just. I wanted to make it feel like Mil Muertes just kind of just dumped him on the chairs rather than just like, oh, it's a back suplex. No, he just like, man, fuck you, and then just throws him on the chair. But now there's no doubt who the real god of death is in FAW. But moving on here, we got that segment, which we just pretty much kind of like started talking about. I guess we'll have a segue into that, where Vince McMahon visits the FAW venue, talks to Wildcard himself.
Now, how are we explaining this? Because I saw a lot of comments in the comment section talking about the multiverse. Are these companies in the same universe? Because I messaged you a while ago, and I don't know why they wouldn't be. It's so confusing now.
See, the way I see it,
because WSC is not in the same. I'm using the multiverse to travel to these places, is what I'm saying.
Right. So here's what I'm saying, right? Here's what I'm thinking in my head canon, right? What's going on here? WSC, GCW, and FAW exist in the same universe across all universes, right? There's just certain aspects of each Fed that's different than the others. Perhaps in one instance, GCW is the most famous one, and WSC is the least famous one, and FAW is the middle. And there could be another one where FAW is the top dog, WSC is the middle, and GCW is at the bottom. So in this universe, I'm feeling like WSC is still at the top, but it's not really, mentioned in these things.
So which WSC is competing in GCW then?
I feel like it's the WSC that does not have the multiverse GPS. Okay. It's not the one from your videos. It's the one from the universe in which all three Feds exist at the same time. That's the WSC from the FAW GCW universe. For as far as I'm concerned, GCW and FAW are in the same universe. But
I think this needs to be explained to people, because I see a lot of people getting confused, like, oh, Moxley's doing this in WSC, but he's doing this in GCW, but they're not the same. They're not the same Moxley, or they're not the same Reigns. The Reigns is not the same hardcore champion as he is the GCW Extreme champion, or the one in FAW who's wearing the vest,
Here's the thing is like, I dread talking about this, because it's like when you deal with a story, right, that has time travel or multiversal travel, because it's never straightforward. It's never.
Because when this whole thing of me going to Luke's Fed came about, we didn't really go into all the details of it. We didn't really plan it out much. All I said was I didn't want to wrestle anybody who's really known in WSC, because that would be confusing. But now with all this multiverse stuff, it's kind of like, whoa, what's going on here? And people might be getting confused. So I just want to make sure they aren't.
Yeah, I've never seen it as multiverse. Like, you being in GCW was like, you recovering from the injury.
Yeah.
Because you say that in that promo. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the thing with FAW, there's like not really big, like, how would you say? Like there's not a big reason for these two having to exist in different universes. It like could almost make sense, like real life. Like
the only exactly, because like the only problem is like the way I don't want to spoil things, but the only problem I would see, it's like Mil Muertes killed John Moxley and he killed Roman Reigns, but they're in GCW. Well, the thing is, it's like Luke was saying, like, okay, well, maybe they just like changed their name and just have PTSD of the guy, But Roman Reigns, he still kept his name. But at the time when Mil Muertes fought John Moxley, he was Dean Ambrose. That I called him Dean Ambrose.
My brain hurts.
See, that's what happens when you go. That's what happens when you start asking questions about multiversal travel shit like that. Just shut the fuck up and just watch the match, okay? That's all I gotta say, man. Because it's like you can think and theorize and all that shit, but when you bring it up in a conversation and then you force the creator to be like, "Oh fuck," and it's just a whole headache. Like, why the fuck do you even like go through the thing about this, And then besides, it's like three different guys doing these fucking pic feds and shit. We don't live in each other's heads 24/7, And I don't feel like fucking running ideas by every single fucking 5 seconds I think of an idea. It's like, oh, is this okay to use this guy? It's just annoying at that point. It's like, in the MCU, they even said in like Spider-Man No Way Home, the fucking creators were like, okay, yeah, we don't know anything about like the rules of like this multiverse shit right now. We were just really just doing this so that Toby, Andrew, and Tom can be in the same thing. I'm pretty sure the other writers for the next movies coming up will figure some shit out. Well, they didn't. Okay, because this shit sucks. Multiverse of Madness sucks ass. So when you're dealing with a multiversal travel type story, just throw every fucking
just
thought.
Don't think too hard about it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
The only thing is just so the fans know that the wrestlers in WSC, FAW, and GCW, or maybe it might be different for FAW and GCW, but they're not the same people doing the same things. They're like alternate versions. Just so people don't get confused.
Like, there's no reason for me to think that the Kevin Owens from FAW is a different Kevin Owens than what happened in GCW. Because who's to say that while Kevin Owens is working with Undisputed Era, he can't check in with Sami Zayn?
But the Kevin Owens in GCW is the one from WSC.
Well, still, that doesn't really change anything.
It changes quite a bit.
I don't think so, because who's to say he can't fucking hang out with Sami Zayn? He's not like he's wrestling in FAW. It's usually just Sami Zayn. So you mean to tell me, right? Let's say you have a group of friends. Let's say you had a group of friends like that, 3 people, but you have your other friend who's in another place, in another city or whatever, and you 2 are friends. Does that mean you got to drag your fucking other group of friends just to see that other friend?
I guess it could make sense unless you did a match involving Kevin Owens at the time where he was injured. Then it would be.
But the thing is, I didn't though. That's the thing, So there you go.
Then we all good.
Yeah, it should be good. I don't see any reason why. Imagine that. Imagine watching these things. It's
I can't watch this because Kevin Owens was injured in WSC, and now I'm seeing him in unsubscribe.
Who fucking thinks like that, man? Just shut up. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's really mean. I know I'm being mean right now, but it's really frustrating when I have to think about this shit, man. And then now my brain hurts trying to fucking come up with ways to make it all make sense. But and the reality, it makes sense when you don't try to make sense of it.
And honestly, the masses that watch this stuff, they don't put any thought into it. They just want to see figures smashed around.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the demographic. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to us bringing up the ideas that me and Luke have, but we won't discuss those today. We're going to keep.
Is that still happening?
Oh, yes.
That certain thing?
Yeah.
Wait, was there supposed to be build up for that, or is that happening at that certain point?
It's part of it.
Well, we'll talk about it after we are off. Okay. We'll talk about it after we're off the air.
Sure.
But as far as that whole stuff, man, don't worry about it. Don't fucking think too hard about it, because you're gonna give yourself a hernia. Just enjoy the show. FAW, GCW, they're gonna collide or combine. I don't know. We don't know yet. But that was essentially a lot of people's first interaction or first what's it called, exposure to the wild card character, which is a character I love to write for because he's so raunchy and he doesn't give a fuck. And him and his dynamic with Bossman, I love it. And Luke seems to love these backstage segments a lot.
Yeah.
And here's the thing about this video. Luke pretty much pinned this on me. This Rey Mysterio Jushin Liger match, right? Imagine how I felt about Undertaker versus Mil Muertes. That's how Luke felt about Rey Mysterio and Jushin Liger, right?
Yeah. I actually saw something. I checked out your Patreon, you guys' Patreon, and I saw you said there was supposed to be a Rey Mysterio Jushin Thunder Liger ladder match at some point. But then I was like, wait a minute. This never came out.
Yeah.
What happened with all that?
Yeah, that was the one at the Royal Rumble. We already talked about that in the last episode, right?
Did you film any of it? You had a thumbnail ready, I guess.
Yeah, I just had a thumbnail made, and yeah, there are multiple reasons. But
so is the Cruiserweight Championship just low totem pole right now? Was it just used to kind of build up Will Ospreay? Or is it just you're just waiting for a good story to come up to really,
that's kind of it. The Cruiserweight Championship is not really a title that draws. So
yeah.
And also,
I guess it's kind of the same situation with your tag team titles. Like they haven't been on the show for a while too. So
yeah. Well, the situation with that was because they are being shown with Roman Reigns, so they're still like kind of relevant there. And I had to establish the Multiversal Championship. So what's going to take more priority? And then people, I think I did a vote where people said they liked the singles Hardcore Championship more than the tag, and the videos take a long time to make. So if I'm going to do Multiversal Championship and another thing, I'm obviously going to choose the Hardcore Championship. But
another thing I imagine,
but we are getting more tag championship matches for the people who are waiting on that to happen. It's coming.
Yeah. And I think like a part of that, the difficulty would be like, what fucking tag team would go after the Usos at this point? What good tag teams are there?
Yeah. Well, we actually got, you'll be surprised. There's a ton of actually really good tag teams.
If it ain't the fucking Ninja Turtles, I don't want to see it.
We're not doing Multiverse isn't mixing in with these guys.
Man, shut up, man. I want to see Ninja Turtles versus Usos. Okay. But, another part, and I think we mentioned this while we were talking about the Jushin Liger and Rey Mysterio the last time, was that a part of this difficulty in like finding investment in these matches is because like we wanted to have a big payoff into who the League of Ligers were under the masks. But the thing is, we couldn't fucking think of anybody that would be like, wow, that's so cool.
The thing is with that, like, how do you think of the story but not think of the end point? Like, how did that come about?
Well, it's just booking pay. It's just like that there's too much stuff going on in GCW. Like, there's too many.
So you just too much content to kind of like figure out what to do with. Yeah.
And I cannot.
Did you just get excited with all the Jushin Thunder Liger figures that there were, and like just want to like you thought it was a good idea to have like, oh, there could be another Liger, and then one turns into two into three, and then maybe it got out of hand, but you didn't think of like who it would actually be or what the payoff would be.
No, we thought of a payoff. We did think of a payoff. We did think of people.
Oh yeah,
under those masks.
We actually had one. Yeah, but then people came up with all these theories, and
maybe you didn't have to have who's under it revealed. Maybe you just had to find a way to get rid of them. Maybe that would have been the better option.
Well, that's the thing. And it's also, that's hard too, because it's like.
And another big problem is like these Liger figures, unfortunately, they are all falling apart. Like my main Liger's arm, like every move I do, it falls off. So that is kind of annoying. And
these are not built. They're not built for Pic Fedding.
My one Liger held up so good for so long, and then the one horn fell off, and then these new ones came in, and the horns, like they arrived, and the horns were already falling off. And now the horns are just falling everywhere every time I use them. And
you know what that means for me. Cha-ching, baby. More shit coming at my way.
And
but like when I was filming that, I kind of felt it. I was like, you ever get that instance was like, oh, I don't like the feeling of this. I got a bad feeling about this. You ever get those feelings? Yeah. That's how I felt when I was like posing the fucking Jushin Liger. I was like, I got a bad feeling about this because I have a match specifically for Liger in the future that I wanted to do, and I was really excited. But when I was filming with this Liger, I was like, But
Danny, I want to give you mad props because that ladder spot looks really nice.
Oh, thank you.
I do things in VidFed for that kind of stuff, but looking at the way you did that makes me like, oh, maybe I should film that in like that kind of way because that looks really nice the way you did it.
Oh, thank you.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that kind of stuff.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. Like I put
not that VidFed's bad.
No,
because it's good in certain points, but like
it has
just like strengths. Inspired me.
VidFed has its strengths and Pic Fed has its strengths. Mm-hmm. But another thing about the Liger match, we were gonna just like forget about it, and just go straight into WrestleMania. It's like me and Luke, we just had, like I don't know if it was Luke who jinxed it or us both, but I remember Luke saying something like, Who cares? No one's good. No one's even commenting. No one's even commenting on Jushin Liger and Rey Mysterio anyway. So let's just go to WrestleMania, and then
it's
we
like
put
Vince McMahon said that about the Intercontinental Championship to Chris Jericho. He's like, "Oh, who gives a fuck about the Intercontinental Championship?" It just goes through phases of stories. I think it's the stories that really drive the championship.
Yeah, exactly. So
and the characters, I guess.
Yeah, and so we say that, and then we're like, okay, let's just go straight to WrestleMania. Right, let's go straight to WrestleMania. We'll do the press conference and whatnot. And then all of a sudden, everybody's fucking starting asking, where's Rey Mysterio versus Jushin Liger? You said you were going to do it. You said you were going to do it. Where the fuck is it at? You just throw it away? And we were just like, what the fuck? Now all of a sudden they care?
Well, people like maybe the little portion of people that did invest themselves in that, they don't want to be just like left in the middle of nowhere with no like payoff to it, you know?
Yeah, but then they decided like now is the time to fucking start saying shit. Yeah. So we're like, oh, okay, fuck it. Now we gotta do it. So originally it was gonna be Luke doing it, but then his Liger kept on fucking with him. He had no investment in this match, so he said, "Hey, can you film this match?" I was like, "What the fuck makes you think I want to film this any more than you do?" And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give you one spot of the match, and that's it. And then we
literally,
well, I'm gonna give you one spot because that was the only spot I thought of. Right, the senton through the ladder. That was the only thing I could think of throughout the entire process of me thinking about this match because I did not want to film it. But then we started thinking of okay, so that's not gonna fucking get views at all, or at least that was my way of thinking it. And then I was like, I'm going to dread filming this, right? Even though it's one spot, it's going to be its case of the Undertaker boot from the corner again, where I film Rey Mysterio is just on the ladder and I never touch it again. So me and Luke were trying to find a way to make this a bit more interesting to us. So then we thought of the thing where it's okay, since I'm the one who's filming it, it could be in the FAW arena and Vince McMahon could be there with Wild Card talking about a secret project that's coming up to build more interest so that it's okay, even though they only got one spot of the Rey Mysterio match, there's still interest in that video because of what they say and the things that's teased. Vince McMahon wants Nacho in GCW, it seems. Will we see Nacho in GCW? We don't know right now, but it sure is leaving you wanting to be tuned in, right? So that's the thing. So then when we thought of that, it made the prospect of Rey Mysterio and Jushin Liger even more fun and worthwhile of filming.
Yeah.
And it made a video that we just thought of as a throwaway. We fucking spit on that shit.
I loved Wildcard's acting. He did really, really good. Did you get him to do that before you filmed it, or was he voicing that on the filming?
No, I make it a point to get the actors to say their lines before filming because it's so
you can film to what they say.
Yes, so I can hear their voice and I can imagine how Wildcard would present himself while saying it.
It was really well done.
Yeah, that's how I think because I love that figure. It's a bitch to stand sometimes because the ankles are a little weird. It's not that they're loose; it's just they're really weird to maneuver. But the neck joint, the shoulders, everything about it is just so great for expressions. Even though you can't see his face because he has a mask, you can tell exactly what he's feeling.
Yeah.
When he's moving around and he's talking, I love that shit. And when he threw the pizza box, that was one of the only instances where I did a vid. Yeah. There you go. When he threw the pizza box at Boss Man, and Luke presented his stellar performance as himself with the one line that he did. With the one line he did, and then we did the commentary, and then at the end, things were teased. I loved it. Luke really loves those backstage segments with Wildcard and Vince McMahon. He thinks they're hilarious.
Yeah, I feel like we always do a great job brainstorming these together. We always throw in ideas and then it turns into something cool.
Yeah. Yeah, because myself, I'm a bit of a writer. Not to be too peppy with my stuff, but
I always throw in like stuff I can't really put it into good words, and you just spell it out really nicely.
What if a wild card visited WrestleMania, and we get WSC wild card and Vince McMahon in the same room? That'd be a pretty interesting scene.
Oh yeah. And now I'm thinking of ideas of how that conversation will go.
At what WrestleMania?
Your WrestleMania.
Oh, I thought you were talking about yours.
No, that's a while away.
Oh, okay.
Well, I know Vince is expecting guests for the backstage party, so who knows who shows up?
Yeah, who knows who shows up? It's gonna be something else. There's this one segment in WrestleMania that I'm really excited for people to see. Yeah. I'm not gonna say shit about what it is, but part one, it's gonna be a part one, and I love the idea of it. I cannot wait to see the reaction it gets. But
it's gonna be tremendous.
Oh yeah, but as far as that video goes, I enjoyed it. We decided to upload it on Luke's channel, because if it was uploaded on mine, I would have put background music. But I already edited everything. I already put the audio in there without background music to make it fit more into Luke's style of backstage segments. So yeah, we just decided on putting it on there, and it the video did pretty good. I don't know. I'm not the one with the analytics.
I mean, yeah, I always check the WWE figure videos, and we had the #1 video on that day. So there you go.
Yeah, ratings war. There you go. There you go.
We won the Sunday ratings war. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, it was a fun video to make. I enjoyed making it. Like, the reason why it was done so fast was because I enjoyed making it. There you go. Yeah. But then we get the I was gonna say finale, but I don't know yet. The finale of the multiversal Shrek saga of WSC.
It's all been building up. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh man. And with this, I got so many ideas for how this was supposed to go. The original plan was to do Drew McIntyre, like I said, was going to be the champion. We're going to do this exact kind of thing, maybe not at the Swamp, with me getting thrown back into 2020, meeting my younger self, Joker stealing the time GPS, and there was going to be some big army going to face the Jokers led by Drew McIntyre. And it was going to be nuts, and there was going to be other multiversal characters in there. But I came to Danny, and there was another guy who's supposed to face off with Joker. I don't want to spoil who that was going to be, but yeah, Danny kind of set me on the right path, and I think what we got here was really, really good. What do you think?
Yeah, the idea of the whole, like, because you wanted it to feel like Endgame, right? The Avengers Endgame, where like the army fights the bad army and whatnot. And we were struggling on thinking, like, okay, if Joker John Moxley summons an army, what the fuck would it look like? It'd have to be like a bunch of evil people.
That start of the video was definitely an inspiration from Infinity War, where Thanos and his family like killed half the Asgardians. And you see all the bodies on the floor.
Yeah.
And then like Thor's restrained, just like Shrek was there. So yeah, there's definitely some inspiration there.
Yeah. And my original vision when we were talking about it, I wanted it to be like at night, But with the thing is, it's like we didn't know how to light it.
Yeah, what I wanted, because in the Swamp match, if you could tell, it was getting dark by the end of that filming. So it probably should have been at nighttime, but like, screw going out there filming in the dark when all these possums roaming around and foxes. I'm not screwing with that shit. So
you were scared to do
it. Yeah, pretty much.
There you go.
Australia has like a lot of poisonous animals too, right?
It's in the suburban areas. It's not that bad. Okay. Like there's probably more snakes in like Florida than there are in Australia.
Yeah, Florida's like the Australia of America. So yeah. But yeah, it started out great. But yeah, like you said before, like in the beginning of this shit, we were talking about like Puss in Boots, his figure just being like fucking creepy as shit. You know, he's sitting there.
Yeah.
He looked the most brutal because like it looked like they shoved something down his throat. I was like, damn, they just fucked him up.
Did you see McIntyre? He was not bleeding at all in the Swamp match. He just destroyed. They hit him with the bat. He's messed up. Yeah, there's so much here that I want to talk about and discuss, but I want to hear what you, Luke, what do you think of the match if you've seen it?
Yeah, I actually, the thing was, yesterday we were on a call, Danny and I, when you sent him the stuff to edit, and then he's like, oh, I got to go off do the commentary. I said, can we give it a quick watch together first? And then we did. And that's actually pretty much all what I have seen.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it was still missing certain things. And
yeah, you missed the audio and it looked better quality. Obviously the real upload.
Yeah. And this morning I didn't have the chance to get to it yet.
But yeah, with this whole thing, there were a lot of ideas that Danny told me not to do. You want to discuss that? Other than that certain person that was going to face Joker, which we don't want to mention.
On what not to do?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes.
And let's comment on Joker Braun Strowman, rest in peace.
Oh, yes. Okay, so there's a story behind that. When me and Nate were talking about this match and what we wanted to do with it, Nate just sends me a video. He's like, hey, did you just see this Braun Strowman? Right? I was like, what? And then it's just Braun Strowman with his hair cut like that, and he has some kind of knife or something, and he's shirtless or whatever it was. And this is the cringiest fucking thing I ever seen, right? Almost as cringy as like Ryback's fucking eating ASMR shits. But it's just Braun Strowman just licking a fucking knife or whatever it was, and he goes, why so serious? I was like, what the fuck is this? Right? And then you were like, oh man, could this be like a gimmick that we want to do? I was like, fuck no. Okay, no, let's not do that. And then you thought of the idea. I was like, okay, well, there was going to be this thing where you said that, oh, Joker John Moxley, you're not special. There's a bunch of other Jokers in the universe. And you were going to do Joker Seth Rollins, right?
Yeah.
And because you know, his gimmick in the WWE is more of like a Joker kind of guy. That's how he describes it. I said, fuck no. If you do that.
Wait, the other story to that was because it's like, what if, you know, how that triple threat of the Shield that was where Joker John Moxley began. Well, what if in a different universe it was Seth Rollins who turned into that Joker? That was kind of the thought process behind it. And also, yeah, he described his gimmick as the Joker currently.
Right.
And he's worn the colors as well.
Yeah. And I just did not like that idea at all, because it's like, well, one instance is like, we're you know, like I can sort of tolerate the whole Mox and Reigns and WSC thing, but it's just like this whole thing going round and round and round and round and round with the Shield shit. And it's like, damn, dude, like, nah, bro, fuck that. And I just could not get behind that idea of just Seth Rollins coming out. And then didn't you want him to like have like a prominent role in that? Or were you going to have him get killed off just like that too?
I think I was going to have him get killed off, but I think it was a way better choice to have Braun Strowman get killed off.
And plus, he had the voice clip. So there you go.
That was so perfect.
Yeah, and plus he had the voice clip, and then he gets killed. And I was like, yes, that was all perfect. It was such a great compromise. It was such a great
Did you watch idea. Did you watch it with like the final edit, or did you have you not watched it?
I watched the whole thing. Yeah, I watched it. I watched the whole thing, and it was great. How fucking John Moxley said like, what the fuck, and then just killed him. And then the rest of the match happens. You get thrown into 2020. And you were going to have this thing where like you were going to do some Back to the Future shit where you write a letter to yourself in 2022.
No, I was going to write a letter to a certain person who was going to be the one to face off with Joker, and it was gonna. There was originally a bigger reason why it was supposed to be the Joker here, and he was gonna verse someone else, and it was gonna continue their story going forward. But we decided to scrap that, thanks to you. But it was probably the best call, and there was also going to be Tibbles transforming into certain people, which you didn't.
Yeah, I didn't really like that either, because it's like it felt more like a joke. Because whenever Tibbles changes into something, I just cannot take it as like, wow, this is like Goku going Super Saiyan. You know, it's more like a joke to me. So him turning into the guy you wanted him to be, it was like, nah, it doesn't really seem as like cool as you might think.
Yeah. But so Batman was supposed to make an appearance, and I saw a lot of comments that actually wanted that. But no, we decided to go more serious route with this whole thing, and it got brutal. It got real nasty in there.
Yeah, Shrek was looking like Ric Flair.
Shrek got messed up. Bro, how brutal was those rocks? He went flying. The rocks were only supposed to like fall on him, and then he was supposed to burst out.
He literally turned.
But he got messed up.
Yeah, he literally turned into a fucking like, I don't know what it is. It's like a ragdoll physics in a video game. He just fucking flew away.
And his head got all scraped up from those rocks, so I had to buy a fresh new one. You know.
Yeah. And
just in case he ever shows up again, you know.
Yeah, and it was just this whole thing was a conundrum, because it's like I thought we were gonna build up to this video by video by video, but no, you wanted to do all this whole finale in one video, and that kind of shocked me. You know, I was like, damn, okay. Well, then we got to cram everything we can into here. With the final result, I think it turned out very good. We came up with better ideas in regards to like how this is going to end up. I think how you handled the Fiend at the end was way better than like what we were trying to think of in regards to
what were we trying to think of?
So what was going to happen, I think like Shrek was going to like deal the final blow to Joker John Moxley, and he was going to win the match. He was going to pin him. It was going to be a happy ending, right? It was going to be the debut. Yeah. It was going to be the debut of the Shrek Super Slam. See, what happened, what I told you is like, you asked me, what's the difference between a Shrek Slam and a Shrek Super Slam? Well, the Shrek Super Slam is pretty much the Shrek Slam, but you just eat that bitch up in the air 20 feet, and then as when it falls down, you just put an effect where the dust cloud just, right? And there's a whole crater. You would have to like dig up a hole and just make it feel like a crater that Joker John Moxley just just like, now that I think about it, you could have just pulled the whole figure apart bit by bit. Like he just got fucking splattered. But you know, Shrek just pins him 1, 2, 3. He's too tired. He rolls on his back. The music starts playing. Everyone's cheering. And then from the ground beneath him, the Fiend's arms grab him and drag him to hell, pretty much. That's what was gonna happen in my vision for how the Fiend would come back. Because like I don't know, it was gonna be.
I liked how it happened, because you know this Joker here was the one who was supposed to fight the Fiend in 2020, and that was where he would stop becoming the Joker and realize the monster he turned into, and just having that like full circle kind of thing, like it was always inevitable. Like I really like that, and you called it really well too.
Oh yeah.
You got real high praise.
Yeah. So with that, guys, it's getting pretty late. We have a lot of other stuff we wanted to talk about, but we're running out of time here. I'm running out of battery on my computer. I think it's about time to wrap this up. We've been talking a lot, and hey, maybe we'll get another episode even earlier. Okay, because
who knows?
Yeah, but it was a really fun time talking to you guys. We really wanted to talk more, but right now I'm running out of time. My computer's probably going to shut down as I'm talking. So somebody end this.
Alrighty. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Thanks for watching.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
sir. Bye bye. Love you all. Good night.